Golfers, get ready. The Texas Open is in full swing, and there is nothing better than a clear day on the green if you're there in regulation. What happens when storms move in and kind of mess up your day? The PGA Tour has its own team of meteorologists prepared to help prevent that from happening. One of the meteorologists, Kyle Koval, joins us now. Kyle, great to have you with us once again. This one actually looks, in the grand scheme of things, okay. The PGA Tour has been quite familiar with disruptive weather conditions through the early part of the season. How's the forecast for the Texas Open looking? Warm, clearly. It does look a bit breezy, too.
Yeah, thanks, Ian, for having me. Actually, the weather for South Texas this time of year is actually really favorable. So we have sunny skies today with a little breeze, and that continues into tomorrow. A little bit more cloud cover as we get into the weekend here, but really the threat for precipitation is quite low. Maybe a little drizzle comes Saturday into Saturday night with a weak front, but otherwise pretty good forecast for this neck of the woods.
Yeah, thankfully, as we look at that forecast, had the tournament run into some trouble, if it needed to be pushed into the early part of next week, that would be especially problematic with some of the severe weather potential for Texas into the early part of next week. So what actually constitutes weather that's severe enough that you have to get the golfers and spectators off the course?
Well, really, any threat of lightning for us is a big red flag and really would get us into action since our priority is to protect the players, the caddies, and the spectators out there on the course. And then also some other things that might not come to mind, but heavy rain could potentially cause unplayable conditions on the course. And actually here in the hill country of Texas, we've had some issues with fog because of low clouds that kind of just sit on the top of the hills here and limit visibility. So there's a handful of things that we look at from week to week, but right now there's really not much to really be concerned about.
Yeah, this a big tune-up ahead of the big one. Really get the season rolling into next week. We hear the music, and then it's officially spring when the boys head out to Augusta. Is there a portion of the PGA Tour season that's most problematic weather-wise or presents the most risk?
Oh, I feel like it changes year to year. Actually, funny enough, the West Coast swing this year was very problematic for us. It just really kind of depends on the larger scale synoptic patterns or even things like El Nino and La Nina that kind of force the pattern into different ways here. So, and then you get into the summertime too with just the pop-up thunderstorms that can be an issue every year. So it kind of has its ups and downs depending on how the overall pattern is unfolding.
All right, yeah, best wishes for a great tournament there in Texas, and then heading into Augusta at Augusta National. We know it'll be looking beautiful. Kyle Koval, meteorologist and weather risk consultant, thanks for joining us on Fox Weather Now.
Thank you so much, Ian. Thanks for having me.